which brings us to everybody's favorite Monday segment, Prospecting with the Welsh. That's right. This is when the Welsh tells you about all them youngins who are coming up in Major League Baseball, going to make an impact on your fantasy league. And Welsh, I'm very excited because I do a little bit of minor league homework myself. And two of the guys you're talking about, I highlighted on the Sunday TV show, and I can't wait to get your insights on them. But first, it's time for Dun 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 Bubba Watch.
Bubba Watch. Bubba Chandler Watch. He should be up. That's the main thing where you just want to make sure we're talking about it. I'm going to dig some deeper names that, maybe from like a talent perspective aren't as big of the big guys, the Roman Anthony's of the world that we're going to talk about. But the most important thing I think in the prospect world right now is Bubba Chandler. Last start was great. He's got 2 starts now where he's tapped in 5 innings. His last start, he walked 1. He's actually walked 2 batters in his last 4 starts, hit 9 strikeouts. I don't have a crystal ball, but he should be here for the next start. They haven't announced it, though, so we might get what the Pirates did in the past, and they might do the mid-May thing. So if he's not up in the next 2 starts, we riot. He should be up in this one. We don't really have any indication that it's going to be there. We're wasting bullets in the minors. It is officially Bubba Chandler Watch.
Boom, boom, boom. Bubba Chandler Watch. All right. Let's talk a little bit more about Jac Caglianone, because I mentioned he had his 5th home run earlier in the show today, and it feels like, we're seeing some signs of life from Vinny Pasquantino. Sal Perez, luckily that injury was not as serious as some people might have originally thought, but the whole first base / outfielder that is now attached to his name everywhere, that's the encouraging factor, right? Not a lot of home runs being hit this year for the Royals. They are down towards the bottom of the league in terms of runs scored. I know they're picking it up lately, but they still need more help. The question is, does Caglianone see time at AAA, or do they bump him up straight from AA and give him a shot in the big leagues? Because he has made a lot of, I would say, progress already this season with his approach.
So I think, you should set your goals a little bit lower, and I think you should prepare for him to go to AAA. That's the likely thing. There's so many other reasons behind it. He had some bad plate discipline last year. Dude is a pitcher. Guy was pitching like a year or so ago in college baseball. He's also learning a new position. He's playing in the outfield. So all of those things would be 100%. You keep him down here, you go to AAA. We've all kind of done this dance. But there's a legit part of me that is starting to think there's an opportunity that he could just leave AA and go to the majors. Just simply because that bat should play now. He is hands down the most prolific power bat in the minors. He is also heated the call in the minors so far. 6 homers, hitting .314 in AA and almost 400 OBP. He is .05 on his OBP from a 3.4 slash. So that he's got to move, and it might be AAA to the majors. I just think there is a possibility in the next month or so that we could actually see him if they're happy with the outfield work. He's got some eligibility across the board, and I think that bat just would help them right now. They are kind of going, but they were one of the worst offenses in baseball, and they could use him. So it's something I'm keeping a really, really close eye on, because I'm starting to think this could be a jump from AA type of guy.
Yeah, that would be really exciting. And of course, there's room for problems there because there is some swing and miss. We all know that. But look, Caglianone,
Sure.
You know how I felt about him last year. We did our draft coverage here. That was one of my favorite guys last season. So it's great to see him performing well. And look, this draft cast is coming quick, right? We already got we got Smith, we've got Caglianone on his way. So, it's a lot of good feelings there. Certainly. Kurt's already up in the major leagues. Let's talk about Cade Horton. Minor league pitcher here with some injuries going on in that Cubs rotation, not just Justin Steele, but now Shota Imanaga going for an MRI, which we'll talk about later in the program. Cade Horton could get his opportunity here.
Yeah, and I have mentioned him a couple weeks ago. Just want to throw this back out here. Last start, great again. He's got a .24 ERA in AAA right now. He's got an over 10 K per 9, which we love. Giving up no homers, .62 home runs per 9. But he is still a little bit walk heavy. From a stuff perspective, he's moved a little bit more fastball slider. He's upped his slider percentage. He's way up to his fastball percentage because his fastball is up almost 2 miles per hour year over year. It's hitting around 96, which is great. Curve and changeup, he's lowered the usage. He's found some real success out here. Swinging strike rate is still a little bit low, even though the Ks are up. I just think the Cubs are going to be taking a look at him really soon. Again, their balance between like Ben Brown has been okay, with Colin Ray coming down to earth, injuries. Cade Horton is an option that they could have for the rest of the season. So he's not Bubba Watch or anything like that, but there's only so much longer that you're going to hold him back. The problem is the Cubs have a couple of these guys, and how many can they have up? So I'm big on Cade Horton here. He would be one that's a little bit beyond streaming for me as well. So I would look to stash him.
All right, next on our list, two guys that I'm so happy Welsh is bringing up. The first is Otto Kemp, who's in the Philadelphia Phillies system, and Alec Bohm has been absolutely dreadful this year. Can we just like call it what it is? I know he had a hit yesterday in the game, but everybody got a hit yesterday in the Phillies game. But Bohm has been just dreadful this season. In 135 plate appearances, a 228 batting average, a 267 OBP, a 283 slugging. And we've been through this with Alec Bohm before. I feel like the Phillies in the offseason were shopping him around. They couldn't get what they wanted for him. And now they're kind of stuck. And you know what? Otto Kemp is not stuck at AAA right now. He is hitting the snot out of the baseball. And I think it might be time for the Phillies to see what they might have or how he adjusts at the very least to the major leagues to see what they have in Kemp, because I don't think Alec Bohm is long for this Phillies lineup.
So, I mean, I guess I kind of like agree with what you're saying. I don't know what they do with Alec Bohm and how they make it work. You're not going to send him down if they move him off. But what's happening is, like what you're alluding to, Kemp is just stuck and he's absolutely just beating everybody up in AAA to get his way out of it. He is fighting his way out like an Avengers movie because he's put up a clinic, 344, 10 homers, 5 stolen bases. He's looked phenomenal in AAA, over 50% hard hit rate, which is great. He's putting up some elite actual power numbers, 112 on the max EV, which is above the 110 marker. And I saw him last year. He played in the Arizona Fall League, and he was phenomenal. A little bit unlike the other guy I'm going to talk about. Otto Kemp was a huge standout last year. The only thing that's kind of holding him back, I guess, is he's 25. This is an older prospect. So this is, to me, there's some Davis Schneider type vibes with Otto Kemp. Where are they going to find it? Because they've got Trey Turner, and they've also, because he can play second or third, they've got Bryson Stott. It kind of has to be at the expense of a guy like Alec Bohm. I think he's going to get an opportunity. I don't think when he's called up, it has to be an everyday thing. He could be a super util guy. But what we need to pay attention to is that's a powerful lineup with a guy that is transformed into a big power hitter. He gets the ball in the air, 21-degree launch angle in AAA right now. He's a live bat, even though he's an older prospect. So we got to pay attention to Otto Kemp. And maybe if he gives you that Davis Schneider return from a year or two ago, whatever it was, on the second half, that's fantasy winning stuff. So keep Otto Kemp on your radar.
Speaking of older prospects, this is one that I cherry picked myself this weekend. Tim Elko, 26 years old, from the Chicago White Sox system now. The guy in front of him is Andrew Vaughn, who has been an utter disappointment this year. A 176
Dreadful
batting average, a 218 OBP, a 280 slugging. They should just send him down straight up for Elko and see what Elko can do. On the flip side, Elko this year, 10 homers, 21 RBI, hitting 333 with 1,000 OPS. Now, I know he's an older prospect. I get that. But Vaughn can play outfield DH. You can move him around. I don't see the reason why, if you're the White Sox, right? You brought up Chase Meadroth. Why not bring up Elko? Why not see what you have in this system and what these players are capable of doing at the major league level? They might as well start to learn and start to see if guys like Elko, Meadroth are the future of this organization or not. So what are your thoughts on Elko? I know a little bit older in terms of prospects, quote unquote, but he seems like he could be a redraft contributor sooner than later with the way Vaughn's played.
Yeah, and as I mentioned at the top, again, these are not like the big superstar prospects of like, the Basallos and the Roman Anthonys. These are guys that are absolutely destroying. They're done with AAA, and they're going to get some playing time. Elko is a little bit different than Otto Kemp, not just because he's also older. He's 26 years old. He's a big old monster hulking dude. He played in the AFL last year. I've seen him a ton, and he has got big, big power. But this team, they've got a spot. They're going to move some pieces out of here. The White Sox are eventually, Robert, who leads the league in stolen bases, is going to get traded, and they're going to be able to move pieces around. And Elko is going to get in this lineup. And if you ask White Sox Twitter right now, they want him yesterday. Elko, I don't believe in the batting average necessarily long term, even though to his credit, he's hit over 289 since 2023, pretty much outside of AA. I think there's going to be a strikeout issue. He's 30% right now, which I think is going to hurt ultimately with the strikeouts or with the batting average. But 51% hard hit rate, and here's what you love. He has a 116.7 max EV. That is almost 117 miles per hour he's put up. Average EV is almost 94 miles per hour. He is hitting the ball freaking hard. He is a power source to look at, and if he gets called up 15-team deep leagues, put him at a corner infield, he should get tons of playing time, probably end up cleaning up for this White Sox team, which, is whatever. But Elko's going to be up soon, and there is big power potential in this older first base prospect.
So there you have it. Those are the names to keep an eye on or add in your leagues everywhere. That's Prospecting with the Welsh. You can head to FantasyPros.com for more of Welsh's prospect guru-isms. And of course, subscribe to Fantasy Pros MLB for more fantasy baseball content. Let's take a look at the 3-up and 3